Our next caller is Robert Marshall with the Rhode Island Developmental Disabilities Council. Good evening, Mr. Marshall.
Thank you, Senator, and for the committee for allowing me to appear on behalf of the Rhode Island Developmental Disabilities Council, and also in our role as a member of the coalition that brought these two bills forward. We wanted to give serious consideration to removing some of these obstacles that were removed last year and demonstrated could be done safely. We think that the removing of these obstacles would make it much easier for people with disabilities to vote, give them more access to the polls. We also think it'll make it safer in many ways. With the current requests, the two things I'm going to focus on is the dual signatures. Dual signatures made everybody feel like they were making security more than they actually were, because there was never any way to verify that those signatures were real. But what it did for a lot of people with disabilities is it made them bring two more people into their voting process. And a lot of times what would happen is someone would decide it was the right thing to do to kind of help this poor person with a disability vote the right way. So that was not a helpful situation. And right now, there's a very good system in place to verify the actual voter's signature, the actual person with the disability's signature. So there really is no need for the extra signatures, and it just makes it either more difficult or less safe to get an actual ballot voted independently. The other issue that is there is the early voting. Again, many people with disabilities need to make a lot of arranging to get to the polls if that's the way that they want to vote, or if they miss the deadline for the mail ballot. And to have that 20 days to manage to make all the ducks get in a row so that you can get there really makes it much more accessible for people with disabilities. And as usual, when you make things more accessible for people with disabilities, most of the general population benefits also. I'm sure we all love the curb cuts when we're pushing a carriage down the street. It's very similar with everything else that you make accessible. Thank you for your time.
That's a good analogy, thanks. That promotes an image in the mind. Any questions for this witness, for Mr. Marshall, from any members of the committee?